Teenage pregnancy here in the Philippines, also known as adolescent pregnancy, is a pregnancy in a female under the age of 20. Pregnant adolescents are at higher risk to get mental health problems such as depression, intense stress, and pressure to become parents. Also, pregnant girls often drop out of school, limiting opportunities for future employment and perpetuating the cycle of puberty. Here are some expert panelists that are going to discuss about teenage pregnancy. Ms. Guri, she is a child psychologist. Mr. Ben, he is a youth specialist. Mr. Garcia, he is a sex educator. And Mr. Paruli, he is a cultural anthropologist. And the last one is Ms. Lipin. She is a adolescent medicine specialist. Now, for you all, what is your insights about this issue? We now first answer Ms. Lipin.
Okay. As an adolescent medicine specialist, I want to emphasize that teenage pregnancy is a complex issue influenced by a range of factors, including lack of comprehensive sex education, limited access to contraception, and social pressures. It's crucial to address both prevention and support, ensuring teens have the right knowledge and resources to make informed decisions about their reproductive health.
Thank you for that answer, Ms. Lipin. What about you, Mr. Ali?
As a cultural anthropologist, I believe teenage pregnancy is shaped by the cultural environment in which young people live. It's not just an individual issue, but deeply connected to everyday practices, traditions, and social expectations within a community. In some cultures, it is viewed as a normal part of life, while in others it is discouraged or stigmatized. And also how a society educates its youth, what values are promoted, and the roles assigned to young people. All of them play a part in shaping the outcomes of teenage pregnancy.
Thank you for that answer. And you, Ms. Bunny?
As a child psychologist, there are some insight that I can tell, like psychological well-being or emotional impact, that it can lead into stress, depression, and anxiety due to the sudden responsibility of parenting. Teens may also face isolation or the social implication. Since teenagers are still developing their skills at a young age, or becoming a parent in such a young age, it can also affect their relationship with their peers and family and their ability to engage in social activities and such.
Thank you for the answer. What about you, Mr. Garcia?
As a sex educator, peer pressure can significantly impact teenagers' choices and behaviors. When early sexual activity is perceived as a norm or a status symbol within a peer group, teens may feel pressure to engage in similar behavior to gain acceptance or approval. This influence can override their ability to make informed and responsible decisions about sex. Poverty can create a range of challenges that increase the risk of teenage pregnancy. Families struggling with financial instability often have limited access to educational resources and health services.
Thank you. And the last one, Mr. Ben.
Based on my expertise, I view teenage pregnancy as more than a health issue. It's deeply connected to the social, emotional, and developmental challenges that teens face. Adolescents often struggle with self-esteem, peer pressure, and lack of education, which can lead to risky behaviors. To address this, we must provide comprehensive support, empowering teens to make informed decisions and build healthier futures.
Thank you for that answer. So, with all that being said, we all know that this kind of issue is really happening right now here in the Philippines, and will continuously happen if we do not educate them about this issue. So, I have this question that is very important to discuss. Who should be blamed about this issue? The parent or the teenager? You can now first answer this blame.
As a child psychologist, I choose it is the parents to blame, since if the parents fail to give their love and attention and care to their teenagers or to their kids, they tend to find a lot to the different person that can cause them sexual intimacy. It also, the poor parenting can be a factor, such as a lack of open communication about sex, or not setting an appropriate boundaries that may contribute on a higher risk of teenage pregnancies.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. And you, Ms. Cindy.
It's important to recognize that parents play a significant role in shaping their children's understanding of relationships, sex, and responsibility. When parents fail to provide adequate guidance, education, and emotional support during their child's formative years, it can contribute to risky behaviors, including early sexual activity, which may result in teenage pregnancy. While parents play a crucial role in shaping their child's values and decisions, teenage pregnancy is often a complex issue influenced by various factors such as peer pressure, lack of access to proper reproductive health education, and societal influences. Therefore, blaming parents alone overlooks the broader context that contributes to adolescent pregnancies.
What a nice answer, Ms. Cindy. What about you, Mr. Garcia?
For me, I believe that parents play a crucial role in their children's education about sexuality and responsibility. When parents are open and proactive in discussing these topics, it can significantly reduce the risk of unintended pregnancy among teenagers. Parents can begin by having open, honest conversation with their children about sex, relationships, and responsibilities. It's also beneficial to educate themselves and seek resources or workshops that can help them communicate effectively with their kids. Parents should do proper guidance, and discipline is essential for their children's overall development. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. What about you, Mr. Palumi?
From my perspective, the girl bears significant responsibility in teenage pregnancy. As personal decision making is central to the outcome, while it's true that social factors and lack of guidance can influence her, she still has the ability to make informed choices. This view highlights the importance of personal awareness and understanding the consequences of one's actions. At the same time, it also acknowledges the need for stronger support systems, education, and resources to help young people make better decisions.
Thank you, Mr. Palumi. And the last one, Mr. Barry.
As a youth behavior specialist, the teenagers should bear some responsibility because they ultimately make choices about their actions. While external factors like education and parental guidance play a role, teenagers must understand the consequences of their decisions. It's important for them to be held accountable to encourage people make better decisions in the future. That said, blaming isn't about the punishment. It's about learning and development.
Thank you for those answers. Now, I have this question. What are those physical problems of a adolescent's mind and how this might affect teenagers' life? I believe that Ms. Limping can answer my question.
To answer that question of yours, teenage pregnancy poses serious health risks, including preterm birth, low birth weight, and pregnancy complications. Young mothers also face higher rates of mental health issues like depression and anxiety, exacerbated by the stress of early motherhood. The demands of raising a child can disrupt their education and future goals, while social stigma and isolation further impact their mental well-being.
Thank you for that answer, Ms. Limping. What about the emotional changes of a teenage girl if they get pregnant? I believe that Mr. Barry can answer the question.
A teenage girl who becomes pregnant might experience fear and anxiety about her future, guilt or shame, and sometimes even depression. She may also feel confused about her identity and future plans.
Thank you, Mr. Berry, for that answer. And what we should do to educate teenagers about teenage pregnancy, Mr. Garcia?
Based on my perspective, we should provide comprehensive sex education on sexual health, contraception, and the consequences of sexual activity. Additionally, we should encourage open communication between teens and their parents, creating an environment where they feel comfortable discussing sensitive topics in relationships. Given that parents have already experienced these matters, Interactive workshop can also be used to spread awareness and engage teenagers in learning.
Thank you for the answer, Mr. Garcia. And what could be the problem if a teenage will get pregnant in an early age? What about you, Mr. Caruli?
Teenage pregnancy poses several challenges via health risks and educational needs. It can disrupt a young woman's social and personal development, leading to social stigma and emotional stress. This often impacts her mental health and relationships. Additionally, the lack of maturity can make parenting difficulty, affecting both her and her child's well-being. Understanding these issues within their cultural context is crucial for grasping the full scope of the talent. Understanding these issues within their cultural context is crucial for grasping the full scope of the challenges faced by teenage mothers.
Thank you, Mr. Caruli. And what is the impact of a teenage pregnancy on the health of adolescent mother? Miss Guarin?
Thank you. Teenage pregnancy give a big impact on the health of adolescent mother. Physically, they can face a higher risk of complications such as a low birth weight, premature labor, and anemia. They may also have a hard time giving birth since, like what I've said, their body are just developing, and by that, which can further affect the health of the mother and also the baby.
Thank you for those answers. Now, who would like to ask questions from the audience? Is there any concern? Yes.
As a professional, what do you think that teenagers can do in order for them to prevent insult from those?
I believe that Mr. Garcia has enough knowledge to answer that question.
Teenagers need to stay safe and they should educate themselves about sexual health. Communicate openly with partners whose protection consistently. Respect boundaries, seek advice from trusted sources, and know their rights regarding consent and sexual health. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Any questions? Yes.
I would like to ask if a teenage girl can already be capable of giving birth that early, and what are the major health problems that can affect her body?
I believe that Ms. Ginping can answer the question.
While teenagers are biologically capable of giving birth, early pregnancy poses serious health risks. A major concern is preeclampsia, a condition marked by high blood pressure that can lead to severe complications. Additionally, the adolescent body may struggle to meet pregnancy's nutritional demands, affecting both mother and the baby. Adequate medical care and support are essential to manage these risks.
Thank you, Ms. Ginping. Is there other questions? Yes.
What are those possible effects of teenage pregnancy to our culture?
I believe that Mr. Caruli can answer the questions.
Teenage pregnancy can significantly impact cultural norms and expectations. In cultures where early pregnancy is uncommon, it may challenge traditional views on family roles and gender expectations. This situation often leads to changes in how society provides educations and healthcare, such as implementing better sexual education and supportive services for young parents. Over time, these adjustments can reshape cultural attitudes toward family and responsibility, influencing how communities address these issues.
Thank you. Is there other questions? Yes.
How will we help a teenage mother develop a healthy parenting style while managing her own development needs?
Thank you for the question. I believe that Ms. Guarin can answer the questions.
I can say what I can say to your question is we can help the teenage mother to develop a healthy parenting lifestyle while managing her own development by joining or attending a program that talks about teenage pregnancy, or how will they manage and take care of their kids, and also by taking care of themselves. So by attending to those kind of programs, they will know the basic style, and also by that they also know how to manage their own development. Thank you.
Thank you for those answer panelists. Discussing the issue about teenage pregnancy is dominant to us to be aware on how this issue affects teenage girl's life and those people around her. We should also know what are those consequences before of what we are doing. Discussing this kind of issue help us to learn the effects and how we are going to avoid or prevent this kind of situation. Hopefully, that we can work together to convey to all young people or even parents on how to avoid and help out each other. Thank you.